Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I have been playing with paint. Actually not playing, I've been mixing paint, which needed to happen. Perfect timing, the lawnmower guy was coming anyway, would have had all kinds of stuff in my artwork that wouldn't have been good. So I have this idea that's reminiscent of a painting I did that was something somebody almost bought, keyword there being almost, called Array. And my idea is I wish I had cleaned my tips. I should just stop now and clean my tips. So my idea is to leave a catalyst, the black, on one side of it so that when I put my streamers of color up there and swipe them with whatever tool I decide to do that with, there's something to fill in the missing areas. So this is my OXO omelet turning spatula. And I'm so wishing that I had not put that lighter colored black into my black. But you know what? For this it's perfect. So it's just very thin. And I know what to do about that. I use the Artist Loft, the bulk size from Michaels. And that's what I'll do again. I will add some more of that to black it up. And that'll be fine. But for now, I guess it's an experiment worth making. Because you can see it's showing through a little bit. And I want it to stay a little bit damp to move colors. I don't know how this is going to work, and if it doesn't work the way I expect it to, I'll do something else. You know me. I can change plans in midstream. No problem. But the omelet turning spatula that spreads paint so nicely is on the Amazon link. Now maybe buried, but it's usually right under the video with lots of other stuff at no added cost to you, and every purchase you make there helps me. And I could use some help. Christmas is kind of interesting when you lose the money we just lost. But I have hope that the book will come out and that will show up on Amazon. Yeah, I'm never going to get that to cover all the way, so I'm going to give up. I'm going to put that in my paint water bucket and find my glasses. Really? Yep, I found them. Cool, I'm styling. So I haven't used nearly enough red lately. I sort of want some white down there. You know, maybe just a little bit of white pearl, and use my Princeton art tools to spread that into place. Princeton Catalyst spatulas, art tools, whatever you want to call them. I don't think I need a ton. Where is all the schmutz coming from? I do work outside in a very sandy area, so the wind comes up and you know what happens. So nothing exact there. If I don't get to it too quickly, it won't stay wet anyway, and I'm not sure what point the wet paint is at this exact moment, but I'm not going to worry about it. That was white pearl, and I am going to do what I've done before and create lines that radiate from one point to another. And I'm not sure how this is going to work at all. But I kind of think if I don't go all the way down to this point, I may not get as much excess paint as I'm a little nervous I might get. I'm going to start these, let's call these registration marks, because they'll sort of keep me in line with what I want to be doing. And if I don't like the straight lines, I'll waggle those suckers. This is all new. I haven't done this before. I woke up this morning thinking about artwork, go figure, and what I might want to do today or someday, in spite of the fact that I'm running out of space in my house. My artwork is for sale, by the way. There's also a contest running until December 5th at midnight to win one of my paintings, and you can see those paintings on the studio tour at the beginning and the end that I posted for November, where you can see where I work, my workspace, all my tools. Anyway, so this is not a bad start. I kind of think I want a little more over here. I love my squeeze bottles. They're already pre-mixed with colors in them that have GAC 800 to keep my paint from cracking when I want to leave it thick. And oftentimes Floetrol, but yesterday I was at Hobby Lobby checking out, I buy some Anita's paint there. They have nice metallics for a good price. And I found that the Deco Art pouring medium was on sale, 64 ounces for like 20 bucks, which doesn't sound inexpensive, but compared to what it is normally, that's not bad. And it does sell nicely, so when I mixed paint today, I added a little bit of that in. Now the reason I'm adding the white before I add the purple neon is because I'd like to kind of have this high hope that maybe I can get some of the color to stay, because it dries burgundy if it's on a black background. And at some point in time shortly, I don't expect to keep doing this in a very, what do I say, symmetrical pattern. It's not really symmetrical if it's radiating. But I'm also a little nervous about this down this way. I don't want the paint to wind up so heavy at that end that I have issues. But so far, I'm not minding what's going on. Push some paint over the side. I don't know how that's going to work. This may have to be a framed piece if I don't figure out how to make the edges cover. But I might figure out how to make the edges cover, and then you'll know. We'll find out together. How about that? It's fun to do new things, especially when they work. I got a little video library of parts 1 and 2 that need a 3, and I'm gonna have to do something pretty quick with something that I thought was an improvement, and I don't like it, and I'm gonna have to do a part 3. But I'm pretty sure there were two parts before that, so that'll be 5. You may never see 1 and 2. All right, I have some paint here that I made up when I was mixing colors to see what I had. So I'm just going to dribble that. Starting at the wide end. And I like fuchsia colors. I might have mentioned that. If you've seen a few videos, you probably heard me say that before. So the purple and the red kind of make me happy. It's interesting how that's flaring out at that end. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'm not worried about that doing the dot thing, because that kind of looks neat too, and that just gives me another idea. I mean, but that looks like it needed some white under it to keep it good, so I'm going to think about doing that again right here before I get busy with any yellow, which is probably next. And I think I'm using white pearl. I don't really mind which white I use, but I like the pearl because it shimmers when it dries. And I don't want to go too far because I seem to be losing some of my colors. I'm interfering with my colors. So I'm always so conscious of when I'm quiet, so I'll just keep talking to you guys about they changed the setup of my Teespring, my new apparel stuff, and last time I saw a posted video was this morning, and it was just showing a t-shirt instead of the leggings and the other t-shirts and stuff. Well, this is pretty cool. I'm not minding this. I don't know what's going to happen. I might take the basting brush and bring it in here. I'd kind of like some gold. There he is having conversations outside again while I'm making movies, distracting the heck out of me. Alright, so this is the Arteza gold I found left over. I thought I was out of it, and I'm happy I have some still. Alright, my marble is in my tip. Something has fallen off. Go away, something that has fallen off. I'm going to have to use some tools. Somebody, I should know their names so I can say thank you, suggested going to, like, Joanne and buying some tulle. It's really inexpensive per yard, and putting it between the squeeze bottle top and the squeeze bottle. That way, if there are lumps, or in what I thought of was the marble, it wouldn't keep them, it would disallow the marble from falling into the tip and stopping the paint flow, which would be handy, I think, especially right now. It's gonna have to happen really soon too, because I'm getting a little frustrated with that whole thing. You know, I'm just liking the pattern the way it is. Just the randomness of the dots and dragging my spatula through. And I think I can just make some thinner lines by picking up paint with my spatula. But I'm having a good time. in spite of the fact that I get easily distracted by people on the phone. It's hard enough to work and talk to you guys without having somebody else having a conversation in the background. I'm not trying to eavesdrop, I promise you. So I think the paint is going over the edges pretty well, somewhat, anyway. Better than nothing. And I'm just using my spatula to do that. But I'm down here, I still have these gaps, and I still want that yellow. And I'm going to start not too close to the end, for the same reason I said before, because I want that, I want to be able to drag it down. Let's clean that spatula off. I have a lot of these little spatulas, but I started with the flat front, and I really like the flat front. Alright, let's do this. Kind of really hoping that I can hang on to the lighter colors. And that's one reason I use the white on one side. I think this would be a great experiment to use with the basting brush also. But let's not rule it out completely yet anyway. I'm not minding that white in there. I just don't want as much of it as I have. I'm not minding the double yellow lines. I'm thinking a little blue in there might be nice. We've got these two neon purple folk art multi-surface acrylics, and I kind of want something else there, and maybe the blue is the answer. Let's try some. Let's just try some, shall we? Yeah, that's not bothering me. In for a penny. Right down the middle of that strip. Break up the eye. I'm still really tempted, but this was fun. And it didn't take too awful long. And I'm finding out that I don't mind the randomness of the blobs that seem to come out. But I also think I can just keep dragging my spatula up through and back and making different lines. I wish I'd gone over the edge in some places, so maybe next time that'll be what happens. I could tip it, but I can't tip it so that it will run and be straight. But I can sort of lead some of the paint over the edge and then tap it with my finger, and it's beginning to look like it might actually blend. And being that there's Floetrol, and today there's some Deco Art pouring medium in some of the paints too, which means that it will just sort of metamorphosize over there. The pouring medium enables patterns to form, for me at least, very well most of the time. So right through that center section, I'm going to go ask him to move somewhere else for this conversation in a moment, because I asked him and he said he wouldn't. He forgot. Sorry, talking to you like you care. Maybe you do. Yeah, a little more purple's not hurting my feelings. Excuse me. Thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate that. That clapping was me, yes. He has a wonderful voice. It carries very nicely. It's very sultry. I like it. Maybe not as a background in my video, though. Alright, well, you know what? I'm pretty happy with that overall. And I don't know what else it needs. But I could probably fix the edges tomorrow, at least on the sides where it's horizontal. We should torch and see what happens. I'm just going to keep, I know there's white pearl under there, but it's drying, so it looks like it's gaps in the color. And I don't mind it being a little solid down there. And I'm going to take some of that paint I get off my spatula and put it right over on that edge, somewhat carefully, so that at least it fills in. If I need to put a couple stripes over there to make it blend, I mean, it could still be very easily something that needs a frame instead of the edges being done, but I'm so used to doing the edges that that seems like not a bad idea to me. So that's very cool. I guess it depends on the colors you use. I recommend bright colors because colors on working with acrylics, they always dry darker. I'm almost done. And I think I'm going to use the torch, and the torch is to release bubbles caught in the paint. I think I could use just a little more yellow. Yeah, I think so. That's a color burst. That's, for me, that's attractive. I like it. I'm going to use some of this yellow to go right down over the edge, maybe. And since my finger's right here on the end of my arm, I guess I'll use that too to lead some of the heavier paint that's on that edge, to cover that edge. And the paint is still nice and fresh and wet and thick, so that doesn't seem to be changing much or making any mud, which is good. I'll wipe my fingers off in between. See a little canvas there. I guess I'm a finger painter. Oh well. I know that there are some people who actually make good money and are very adept at using their fingers, and they do paintings that way. I kind of wonder if I could put some white in, and then when I torch it would make cells, but I kind of really like this piece the way it is, so this will be a good first. And this will not be the last, I can guarantee you that. For sure. Now let me take one last look and see if there's anything else I want. Kind of lost my yellow. I think it'll only show up in the white anyway. But I have some white. And I see some round stuff. We got no time left at all to tell you that they're the wet and dry artworks from YouTube are underneath the description at the very bottom. When you open Show More, I've got Teespring, which is my line of clothing, recently added to just below the video. Shop my Amazon link. I might have mentioned that already. That helps me out. There's Pinterest and and Instagram, and there's PayPal and Patreon if you want to help the studio survive and keep making videos. The recipe for my paint pouring mixture is underneath the video. I love you guys. Thank you all for the contributions and keeping me painting. Keep making comments, and please, by all means, give me a thumbs up if you can manage that. That helps me in my ranking on YouTube. And the better my ranking, the more chance I have of maybe making a living. And that would be so appreciated by me. And thank you, YouTube, for the job. Because I like my job now. And I know I haven't had a chance to torch. So let's do that. And if I don't see you until the next video, I'll see you in the next video. Just looking for any anomalous places I missed. Yes! Getting zillions of little tiny cells, and they're beauteous. Thank you all for stopping. I tell you I love you all the time, but I am not done telling you, so thank you very much. Priscilla Batsell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio with art to sell and a gallery full of it. Come and visit me if you're in the area, please. I'd love to meet you. No purchase necessary. And look for the contest. A few more entrants wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. This is very cool. I'm happy. Just simple squeeze bottles.